obviously we're in the 21st century, well, I'm just putting in new kitchen countertops, and they are rounded. My old ones are square. And I look at this, and I look at the windows along, and the lentils which are there, or the windows themselves, many times along the street, where there are some round elements. This is a very angular building, I guess. And it feels to me like it's a great post office.
Okay. So the round elements and.
Something that softens it,
Okay.
that makes it, one, more like what I feel the character is. I mean, putting the lentil across the top, but you notice how ornate they are downtown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that I'm saying we need ornate, but I don't, this is just too much of a contrast. Something needs to be rounded. Round is warm and angular is much colder in terms of just the way in which I think it's perceived.
Okay.
Just my comment.
Okay. No, it's a very specific response that you're making. And I think, and that's fine. I think this is, we learned something from this. And what I'm hearing is that it's not warm and friendly enough for you yet.
Because that's one of the things that,
And-
you talked about emotion,
Yeah.
and that we do this emotionally. People like this
Yep.
building, even if it's crazy in terms of all the space waste, because somehow it's a warm place.
Okay.
Now, the staff also and the people make it warm, don't get me wrong, but I think the initial perception is that there is a warmth here, which we don't find so much in modern. I happen to be a Frank White Wright nut, and he doesn't have a whole lot of those rounded corners, but he has other pieces. We look for little ways in which to instill warmth.
No, and I think, I understand the characterization that you're making. So whether you solve that by putting in rounded elements or some other way, I understand the gist of what you're getting at, yes.
Well, and I see what you're doing with transition, and I understand that. I don't know what 59 is going to ultimately turn out to be. I don't know if other people have more of an inspiration about it, because it's such a combination of things.
Yeah, but
So I guess in essence, I don't know that matching that in some way is important, but I think the transition is maybe an interesting premise.
Okay.
I'm wondering, with the observation that you've already made about the administrative section moving to the east end, and now this weird glass wraparound, would it be possible to just shift the glass to the middle and the irregular windows to the other end? And then you've got that whole staircase, which is already going to be glassed, open, and so you've got light coming into the whole public area.
Yeah, so there was actually another
then-
version of this where we kind of flipped the glassy part on top of that angled piece along the stair that you see going up. There's actually another version of this that we intended to get to, but we didn't draw yet. We wanted to get your reaction to this first. So, but I guess what's useful for us is trying to understand what it is you're trying to address in doing that, as opposed to specific solutions. So it's fine to propose a solution. I think what we're trying to learn when we hear that, though, is what is it that you're trying to get at?
But what I'm hearing from Carl is that maybe the glass, you get the motion and the people from
Right, so you
inside
see
the building.
the activity going
by
on.
Right, you can
that
see
area
everybody
from
going
the
up and down the
stairs.
stairs.
That makes
In
a lot of
the
sense.
kids' programs on the second floor, everybody browsing on the first floor in those popular collections, and you're bringing all that light in
Yep.
naturally, rather than, and I know
Yep.
the multiple light, or the multiple window panels would still bring in some light, but you really open that up
Yep.
if that whole glass section moves middle. And I still think it works with your transitional concept.
Absolutely, yes.
It's just defining the sections differently.
Yep.
I'm glad to see that you put a curtain wall in there. I think that's I think having the building speak to the natural light and having the ability for the general public to see in, which is right now when you walk by the library, it's very, it's almost residential. This library is very residential. So, and I like the idea that you are speaking to the fact that Route 59 will have some potential down the road, and that it is a commercial field, so it will have a commercial field down the road as well. So I definitely, I'm glad that you're introducing a lot of glass on the elevation. The only thing that I have a question about is the mechanical area where you have sort of the
Punch louver openings.
the louver
Yeah.
openings. I understand why they're there. I'm just wondering how I can kind of come to terms with it visually on the facade.
Right, and this might not be the right spot for it. I mean, we do
Yeah.
have that whole end wall, you know, that we have. So this might not be the right spot where it's kind of your main facade. It might actually, we are gonna need
Yeah.
some louvers there to get the air circulation, you know, that we need there, but it might be better located around the corner.
Maybe like back of the house.
Exactly.
Kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I am glad to see that what we're doing is looking at brick and the stone accent, because it seems like it would be the most durable.
Yep,
And we're looking for durability,
yes.
so I think that that's a good compliment. And stone is more expensive than brick, so you wouldn't want to reverse the process.
You know, actually, to Lisa's comment, in
Yeah.
your solution, moving those facades around to the side breaks up that two-story wall in terms of what the residential neighbors see. And I think that would be helpful.
Well, I didn't mention this, but you can see it in this portion here. So there is a little bit of a one-story piece that sticks out here.
Mhm.
Eric mentioned that when he was showing the floor plans.
Right.
And again, that's a way of kind of breaking down the scale of the building as you get near the residential side.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But you still have that solid second and third story wall.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
That could
that's
be
right.
broken up a little
That's
bit more.
right.
I'm reading a shadow line over the glass area. Is that, are you envisioning a balcony coming out, a terrace?
It's a
or-
cantilever.
It is just the cantilever?
That's right. So if you imagine as the stair goes up, it's void underneath that, and the glass is set back behind it.
So how much do you,
The stair might be
You're saying?
8 feet wide,
mhm.
8 to 10 feet wide, I would say.
There's a lot I like about it. I like the idea that you're really considering the people living on this street, and that was really important to me, that we not put something right against their houses. And I like that idea a lot.
The library will be closing in 5 minutes. Please take your items out at this time.
You know, we're laying this on you tonight for the first time. It's a lot to absorb. It's the first time that you're seeing it. These are the kind of things that frankly you usually need a little bit of time to sit with and think about. And it's not unusual for you to have different thoughts or ideas about it a couple of days, you know, down the road after you look at it. But I think, you know, even this preliminary feedback is very useful for us as a way of developing the next iteration of this. And these things are never solved, you know, the first time. It takes several iterations before you finally get to the final solution, so.
I do think the approach, the concept is right, though.
Okay.
To
And
have
I think
that-
that's probably the single most important thing.
That's, and please, you know, anybody else chime in on that, but I really do like the fact that as we bridge the block, we kind of span all of what we're gonna see around us within that.
And these guys know that the feedback from the management team has been that warm and welcoming. That's who we are. It's not just the feel of the building, but it's the character of our organization. And it's something that we do need to make sure is reflected in any space that's
Right, yeah.
designed for us.
We're not gonna be a steel and glass facility.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jason.
Right.
Can't win it all.
Will
As long as
these,
the third floor is quiet.
will
There
these
we go.
drawings be on the website? As they are?
You know, it's It's an interesting question. You know, I know there's gonna be, the public is gonna have a stronger reaction to this than they are to the floor plans. And so, I would like to make sure that whatever we post for the public to review, that the board is comfortable with first. And
I don't think we're there
I
yet.
don't think it
and
is.
that's my sense as well. And I think that, you know, presenting it in public and having a chance to explain it, at least to those who are interested.
Yeah,
You
somebody
know,
might
hearing
slam the
it.
door and they never will look again.
That's exactly right, that's exactly right. Yeah.
And these were not shown at the public meetings
Right.
last week. It was something Carl got a sneak preview after
And the
the
department heads.
Yeah, but really, we wanted your feedback
Yeah.
first. And the idea here is that the next round of public meetings will be the next iteration of exteriors with more feedback. So this in the next couple of weeks is when we need you to be saying, you know, I hate this element, and here's why.
What is
Or
that?
here's what's bothering me.
I'm sorry?
What is that other door there? Is that a door?
No, it's a window.
The big
It's
window
It's a
that-
big window.
The big window that looks like a door.
Yeah, that we'll probably have to take out.
It's kind of at the bottom of the stairs. When you
It's
approach
where the
stairs,
trolls
you
go
can
in.
see
Where
It had to be
the-
taller.
Maybe like a circular window.
No circular windows, they're impossible when you have to finally do something with them. I'm just
No.
taking the
Triangle
Shorewood,
window?
the Shorewood Library experience. Just,
Yeah, no, it's not the
ask
same.
me offline about the Shorewood Library experience. Anyway,
So-
one of the things that just, it strikes me again, so I have to say it. The entryway on this with that lower, while I understand the residential thing, I get that same, I look at this and I get the same feeling I get when I walk into the Fountaindale Library, and I don't know if anybody else has this reaction, because you walk in and that ceiling is low. I feel like it's oppressive.
And you're
I
so tall.
feel, I know, exactly, I feel that it's very, you know, I don't know, anyway.
No, that's,
So,
that's a
just a
fair,
gut check of mine.
that's a fair comment,
Well, and that is the only large stone expanse
yes.
on there.
And it's right over my head. I'm sorry. Don't
It won't fall.
care.
But just in case,
Have you got any other comments then, Dawn?
No, I think this is a good start. It's a
Yeah.
good start for us.
Excellent.
I don't know what next step is. Is it other elevations or?
Yes, the next step is we try again.
Yeah.
Well, and
Try
next-
again after that.
and
get
No,
feedback,
that's-
maybe a
that's
couple
finally-
different options.
That's finally the way to get there.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, you want to talk a little more about the linear process?
Well, we're really not scheduled to kind of have this part figured out until the October meeting.
Right.
So
okay,
There'll be another go-around next month, and we'll get more feedback, we'll show a bit more of how it looks. And then the October meeting is when we're starting to narrow in, and we need to start getting estimating going shortly thereafter.
and is the plan on that to be direct to us in October, or is there another set of public meetings in September where we'd be presenting
And that would be
elevations?
our next question. Public meetings for September. We did not actually set those at the last round because we weren't really sure. I do have the regular second Thursday of the month, 7 PM request in for the Plainfield Township Community Center, because we do have regularly scheduled events in the library that preclude ever taking that second Thursday date. However, the library has a special board meeting on Wednesday the 9th for interviewing the attorneys, and that starts at 7. We could try to shoehorn in an hour immediately before it. We could do, the 10th would be the other. We could do the 8th in the small meeting room for the public meeting. which is Tuesday. However, that is the day after Labor Day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's gonna be a
that's
problem.
not ideal.
There is also the Saturday option.
Yes.
We did not have so many people at the last meeting, but those we did have did indicate that they kind of preferred the evening meeting to a Saturday morning meeting. So I don't know, I'm throwing it out there to you all to,
Do we maybe just?
or do we just have one?
I mean, that's what I'm curious
Are
about.
do you want us to present our next round of elevations to you first and then the public, or?
See,
do
I
you- are you-
I
We
would
can
prefer
send,
that.
we can send the next round out to the board. Do we,
We didn't
how
have
do you wanna
every
do
month
this?
in the original
Yeah.
schedule.
Okay.
We can be flexible
Right.
in what works best for you.
But I'm not sure we're far enough along in the process
Okay.
yet where we can just revise something and send it to you. I think we need
Okay.
to meet and talk about this.
So what if we throw the September meeting to the week following the board meeting rather than, we've already got the 9th, we'll have the 16th for the regular board meeting. What if we do the 24th, 25th, or 23rd, 24th for a general public and a,
I did not check that configuration on the calendar. Yeah, I know. Let's-
well,
Yes, we can make the 23rd or 24th work.
Don't forget that's homecoming week, but if that doesn't
I'm not going this year.
Yeah. One of the big questions will be that the Citizens Task Force folk have been choosing that kind of Thursday. So the 24th may work, but I'm not sure, you know, that, but being a fourth Thursday,
right.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know if I like breaking up, because the citizen task force has been consistently coming
yeah.
monthly, and any gaps, I don't know, once you just break a routine.
But if we don't have anything new to present,
True.
what are we gonna do?
That is true, I don't wanna.
Or
show
do we
these
just skip September and go directly to an October where we would have had more?
And you know, that might make more sense.
Yeah.
If
I
that
think
Labor
Because
Day.
that would be October
I
8th.
think if we email the people who've been attending our things.
Well, and we left it at the end of that meeting.
Well, yeah.
That we
We
would,
would contact them to set up the
and we
next
weren't
meeting.
sure that there was going to be a September meeting.
So yeah, so I
was
think as
one
long
of
as
the
we like
statements.
contact them like sooner rather than later, if we're just gonna do a strictly October one, and then one more time right before the meetings in October, I think that'll probably be better.
Yeah.
Because we don't wanna show these guys to the public quite yet.
Okay, so let's target 10/8
Mhm.
for the public meeting, and possibly, oh, I don't know. Just one or two?
Do we really have enough people at the public meetings to
We
warrant-
haven't really got a whole lot of people at the
You want to
public.
combine them into one meeting, or?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
have one on
I
the
think
8th?
so.
Okay,
I think that just we're fine
Sounds
across
good.
the board. Saturday is already, was already 420.
We always get more questions from the task force because they've heard it, and it may stir other people to feel
Yeah.
freer to comment and
Mhm.
stuff too.
Yeah. Let's do combined meeting,
all right.
10
Yep, we're targeting 10/8, we'll see.
Just a
That-
reservation
yeah.
with the park
So we'll
district
have to
for
see.
6:30.
Have them actually be there at 6:30.
The last, I did not realize Cheryl Christman had shepherded the first couple of reservations through, and this one she had just sent on.
No more hand holding.
So,
All right, so you guys have enough direction then?
We do,
Yes,
thank
we
you.
do.
Proceed. Wonderful, thank you very much. Like I said, I like the idea,
Yeah.
excited to see what else
Yep.
comes of it.
all right, next on your.
So, action item, new business, the homecoming parade discussion.
Where's the new business?
I had a truck right there.
Well,
Get a
right,
truck and put a sign on it and
right.
be all set.
Okay, for those of you who don't
Catch us all
know,
up, Julie.
for those of us who don't know, the homecoming parade is September 26th? 6th, thank you. And that is at 9 a.m., 9 to 11 approximately. In the last few years, we have lost any kind of volunteer base for doing homecoming parade. Reason being, I think every kid in Plainfield is already in this parade. Because every school has a presence, every sports team has a presence, a whole lot of the scouting organizations, etc., have a presence. Yeah, we're just not getting kids or teens to do it. So, we wanted to kick it back to the board if we feel like we need a presence in the parade, we need you to be the impetus behind it. Because we're at a loss. We've done the last couple of years, tried to drum up for homecoming, and we've really struggled the past 2 years, both homecoming and not so much, I think we did pretty good St. Patrick's Day this year. I think we kind of hit our stride on that one. And we get more volunteers for St. Patrick's Day in place. Because not every kid under the sun is already in that parade.
Right.
The homecoming parade is like 130 floats long.
Well,
It's nuts.
My sister and I were wedding shower for her the next day, so I wasn't planning on it. But one thing is, with that many floats, when I have done it, to walk to get to your spots.
It's crazy, yes.
I can't do it, I can't walk that far
It's a
anymore.
long,
Yeah.
long
But
parade.
it is a long walk to get to your spots for
Well,
some of the board people.
so-
The young people might be able to do it.
So here was my thought. Originally, I thought we should do a float and build something, but I don't know that we can pull it off. But could we get some cars and use the cars, like the design of the building, to span from an early model car to a late model car with trustees in it, showing that we're moving into the modern era?
That is a very conceptual.
It is, it is.
For a 150-foot parade, I mean, that might be pushing the message, maybe, I feel like parades, you really gotta punch them in the face, or it's not gonna get the point across.
Well, okay, so the first one then is a horse-drawn carriage. I think that would make it more obvious.
None of us are that old.
All right. I didn't say who had to ride in which one.
No, no, you
I
didn't.
wasn't making any assumptions about that.
Do we still have the house from the grand finale? Can't we put that on the back of the truck?
No,
No,
no.
Okay, so even without that concept, all right, I mean,
The theme of the parade is something about going green. I'm supposed to remember this. Hang on, Anita sent it as an email.
well,
Anita sent that as an email. I
is
got
it in
it
Anita's
somewhere.
report?
It could be.
End of the,
I don't think I saw the theme,
Yeah.
and someone told me before
Spread the green.
Oh, spread the green. There you
The game
go.
this year is family
Oh,
game
money.
night. It's family game night.
Oh, that's right, family
Yeah.
game night.
Yeah. So spread the green.
I was just thinking along the lines of, you know, we keep talking about moving the library into the 21st century, and how could we subtly represent that? But even without a concept, is there interest in participating in the parade and marching? I will be there.
to March.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like if it's just the two of us marching with like a banner between the two, it's like not really
Right.
strongly representative. I mean, it might be just better just to donate money and just have our name on a banner somewhere.
Donate to the Citizens Referendum.
There we go.
Was there a banner that they had that they used on Glenn's car?
We have a banner that's got poles to be carried in parades. We
I
have
know
it.
it's for carrying. I didn't know that that was what was on her car.
Oh
Remember
no,
she had
that was like 3 logos ago.
Oh, I didn't just say the name.
No.
All right, so at this point, there does not seem to be large interest in it. If I can figure something out, I will carry that flag.
Well,
Probably
it
not
may be an
literally.
opportunity to show people that there is a referendum coming, or
Yes.
something of that nature, whether, I was gonna suggest passing those out, but they'll be on the sidewalk curb, you know.
Right.
But won't you get a big opportunity for that next St. Patty's Day parade, which will happen right
Which will
won't
be
you?
It's
immediately
right after the
before the.
election, or,
It's
I thought it was
before.
immediately
Oh,
before
the
the
parade.
vote.
Yeah.
The parade's on Saturday and the vote's on Tuesday,
It's parade on Saturday.
or Sunday, sorry, Sunday.
That's a tight,
Yeah.
time to continue.
we're not convincing anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but you might drive people to go and vote. Closer
might
you
remind
get, that's
them
a
to
better,
vote.
yeah. And by that time, you'll have done so much advanced work informing people in theory. That might be your better bet anyway.
I think the public has an excellent idea.
It really might, because if you do that
No, yeah,
now,
and I agree. That
Yeah, vote Tuesday.
Too soon. Vote March 2016 is less interesting than vote in 3 days.
Right,
Vote
right.
3 days.
and you can very much target whatever you hand out then, or
Yeah.
really, And early voting will still,
And hopefully
will be
citizens
closed by that
referendum
point.
Yeah, close
committee.
Friday.
Be able to
Before.
pull something together. If we had a citizens representative committee that was already going, that would be
They're
great.
working on forming.
Yeah,
Right.
still in the proto stage.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
All right then.
done with action items? I would entertain a motion to move to executive session with guests from Nagel Hartray and CCS and Bill.
I so moved.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
What the heck time is it?